I'm Rebecca Pelley. Rebecca Downing is my maiden name, and I taught for 46 years. I taught high school art. I've always loved teaching, so I would say I'm probably more teacher than artist. Love teaching. I think teaching is sacred. I think it's transformative. So that's been a wonderful thing to do. I think that art is a transformative thing. That experience is transformative. So you use your life, your emotions, your experiences, and you translate them. So it forces you or enables you to find a language for everything that's inside. And the things that are inside might be very simple. If you walk into your kitchen and all of a sudden you notice, I love that cup. There's a cup on my kitchen counter. I love that. It makes me feel good. Then go ahead and draw it or do something with it. I think noticing the things that you love is really, really important. So taking whatever you're feeling and translating it, it's the same whether you are, a visual artist or whether you like to dance or whether, another one of my passions, whether you love writing. It allows you to translate and transform what's going on with you. So it's an intellectual process. It helps you to think critically about what you're choosing and what you're not choosing at that particular time. It enhances your life. It allows you to let go of anything you're feeling that needs to be processed some more. I think when I think about things I've written or art that I've made, most of them have come from something in my life that needed to be transformed. And there's a wonderful quote by an artist teacher, Robert Henry Unrai, who said, art is the trace of a magnificent struggle. In other words, do you have the idea or does it have you? One thing I love about teaching is, first of all, getting to know my students. And then, it doesn't matter what I'm teaching as a whole to a group. I'm teaching individually too. So I try really hard to make, if you were my art student, I would try to make it something that you could use as well as a group lesson. When I taught, and it was a great gift to teach, I love it. But when I taught, my mantra was every kid, every day. And then that's because there's something immediate that needs to happen. And if you know me on a more personal level, and you trust me, you're more open to the things that I might, hopefully give you. I have always loved watercolor. I had a great watercolor teacher down in Illinois. His name was Edward Betts, and he was one of those teachers who's a little larger than life. I hadn't done any watercolor before his class. I wound up taking a couple of them. But what I got from that class was not only that there are lots of ways to use every material there is, but that every material has a voice, right? The more you know, the more you can say. It's like having a wide vocabulary when you have a lot of different techniques that you can use. But he was the one who told me, the first 100 paintings are the hardest. Or he would say, oh, well, this didn't work out so well, did it? Well, go do 5 more and see what happens. That sort of synergy that happens just because you do it and do it and do it. And that can be tough to get in the rhythm of, but it doesn't have to be much. You could start with like 10 minutes of sketching in the morning. To describe my work is almost to describe the different states of mind or experience I was in when I did them. So different work comes from different periods and relates to what was going on at the time. There was a series that came from dealing with a situation in my life where somebody else had a lot of power and I didn't feel as though I did, but I wasn't about to be worn down by it. So there was a series of sort of like big, mean, scary cartoon things and little feisty. That was the little feisty it was for. That whole series came from the feelings that I had, but I was also noticing, this is going to sound horrible, you might want to edit this out. I was also noticing that I was attracted to serrated shapes, which could be lightning bolts, or could be pine trees, the way they kind of move in and out. Sometimes cliffs, the way they kind of ziggy-zag and drop off. For all those shapes, which is interesting because I was feeling a little stabby at the time. That wound up threading all of those together. And most of the series I've done have been pursuing a subject matter over time. So I don't think I can say my work is this. It's like art has that capacity to transform you, to transform how you feel about things, how you think about things, and most importantly, how do you think about yourself? So I think the confidence level that happens through art, it just can't be understated. Yeah, I've seen art transform lives. It can give hope. It can definitely affect moods. Yeah, I think art is a transformative process.